Hi, this is Kat with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to show you how to attach a rose Monty to Lacy's stiff stuff for bead embroidery. Now, if you're not familiar with a rose Monty, let me start by showing you exactly what it is. Now, I have two different sizes here, and I brought out the big size just so I could really demonstrate this so you could see that cross hatch on the back. But if you look at the front, it looks like a really beautiful set rhinestone. And on the back, you have two channels going crisscross so that you can sew through them. And this is great for bead weaving and, like I'm going to show you here, bead embroidery. So I have a little example up here. I made a little pendant, and this shows how I sort of put together two different sizes and colors into one nice little cute pendant. And I'm going to show you exactly how I sewed those on to the Lacy stiff stuff in this video. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to be using a size 12 beading needle. And I have a really bright crimson NYMO here so that you can see it nice and easily. I have a little piece of my Lacy's stiff stuff, and that is all you'll need to kind of get started on something like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and, like I said, I have it strung onto my needle, and I'm going to move towards the end here. And I'm going to do a couple of overhand knots because I want to have a nice little knot to catch my thread with. So just going to kind of double knot that. All right, there we go. So to start, you're just going to take your stiff stuff and you're going to come from the back to the point where you want to start. And since I'm just demonstrating this for just our purposes here, I don't need to really be too careful of where I'm putting it. So I have my knot that is caught on the back, and on the front I have my thread coming through. So now all I'm going to do is pick up one of my rose Montees, and you can see it just goes straight through there, and string that all the way down. And now what you want to be careful of is to place it where you want it on your stiff stuff, kind of eyeball it there. And you just kind of want to scooch it down so it's nice and flush. You can sort of see the red thread coming out that side, and sort of hold it with your finger so that you know exactly where to sew down and through. There we go. So we have our first pass done. So we're coming out across the way there. All right, so to repeat that, you're going to now sort of rotate, and you're going to get your needle so it's coming up nice and flush right next to the next hole, crisscrossing across the rose Monty. And pull your thread through and get your needle going all the way through there. And I'm just going to kind of rotate this in my hand, so if you just want to follow along. So now I need to sew down right next to where that opening is so that I get it nice and tight. And there you go. So now if you look at the back of my weaving, you can see that it kind of went up and across, and then I'm coming out down here. Now the great thing is that if you want to add another rose Monty, I came out this hole here. So if I wanted to add another one directly across from here, what I'd want to do is sort of put my rose Monty across. And what you're going to want to work on arranging is where those prongs come up. Now you can rotate them so they're off center if you want that look, or if they're flush. And hopefully you can kind of see where that is happening. So if you want prong to prong on the outside there, or if you want something on the inside. So it just depends on the look that you're going for. Let's say I wanted to do something that was closer to this. So I'm just going to kind of hold it where I want it to be. And now I'm going to find a hole, and where that is there, making sure that your needle gets right where it needs to be. And you want to get it right up close to the setting. Just kind of rotate that. There we go. And sometimes, there we go. You just got to poke around a little bit. So I'm going up and through and across. And without letting go, I'm just going to go right into it and just go right down. There we go. So you can see that my rose Monty is sort of sitting right there. And let me just finish this one off here by getting it, there we go, and doing that last pass across the way. Now I will say that if you want to sort of place your rose Montees onto your stiff stuff, you could try to use a little dab of glue onto the back of them. But I do recommend sort of sewing them on one at a time. That way you're always sure that you can kind of adjust as you go. So that is what the back of your bead embroidery will look like. And this is the front. So you can just sew on those rose Montees and kind of create beautiful little designs. They're really fun, and we have a lot of beautiful, inspiring colors in Swarovski crystals, so definitely be sure to check that out as well. You can find all of these supplies and more tutorial videos at beadaholique.com.